And action.
I don't need one.
You don't need one? Okay.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, me and my partner will be presenting on how the Indian Salt March was a turning point in India's independence movement and history. Today, me, Abhi Prakash, will be Gandhi, and Adhi here will be the narrator and a special character. So let's begin.
Due to the British Raj employing the Salt Act of 1882, Gandhi, a member of India's National Congress, was asked to take the first step of India's independence movement. Gandhi and his followers protested with a 241-mile salt march from Sabarmati Ashram to Dundee on March 12, 1930 to April 6, 1930. The Salt March was a turning point in history and India's independence movement that changed the minds of people everywhere. In Dundee, 1930, Gandhi had just finished giving a speech to his followers. But how did we get here?
Namaste. My name is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, better known as Mahatma Gandhi. Back in my day, from 1858 to 1947, while India was under rule of Britain, us Indians suffered greatly. Not only were we racially discriminated against, we were economically exploited. The Salt March, the Salt Act, among many others, targeted Indians economically. It forced us to buy salt from the Britishers and made it illegal for us to make or sell salt in any other way. Then, to wrench even more money out of us, the British put a huge salt tax on their salt.
In the past, Indians had tried to fight back against the oppressive nature of British rule through the non-cooperation movement, but their impact was limited. For example, in 1922, a group of protesters were fighting off with the police in Chari Chara, India. The police opened fire, and in retaliation, the protesters set the police station on fire.
Because of this terrible incident, I had to suspend the non-cooperation movement. But although there were many setbacks, we would never stop until India was free.
Gandhi fought for India's independence. He fought, but not the way you think. Gandhi was a member of India's National Congress.
Our Congress's main goal was to free India from Britain and make India its own independent country. I was chosen as the candidate to lead our first act of protest. I decided that the SALT Act, which is taking a heavy toll on the Indian people, was something that we should protest about. So, on March 2nd, 1930, I sent a letter to Viceroy Irvine telling him that we would begin to break the salt laws in 10 days.
On March 12, 1930, Gandhi and his followers set out to Dundee to break the salt law.
While I only started with 80 people, as we marched along, more people joined us.
As Gandhi reached to Dundee Beach, there was more than 50,000 people with him.
There, I gave a speech to my followers, telling them that they should continue civil disobedient acts even after I was arrested, and to do anything they could to disobey British law, whether it was big or small, and to continue nonviolent protest in the future. In
Dundee Beach, Gandhi planned to defy British rule by harvesting salt from the seawater. But the police had foreseen this and crushed all the salt deposits into the mud.
Unfazed, we took the salt straight from the mud, making a statement to the world that we would never stop until India was free. The Salt March had an immediate effect on the Indian people, showing how powerful nonviolent protest was and inspiring participation in civil disobedient acts.
Indians across the country began to fight for their freedom and harvest and sell salt illegally, putting pressure on Britain and its unjust policies.
Many Indians were jailed for participating in the Salt March, including me, but I still saw this event as a victory because of the long-term effects it had. But now, let's welcome Mr. Linley Wood.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Edward Frederick Linleywood, better known as Lord Irvine. From 1926 to 1931, I was British Viceroy of British India. When I heard the news of Gandhi's Salt March, I ignored it, thinking that it would not have enough power to make a change. But after seeing how Indians began to rebel, I decided to make a pact with Gandhi.
After being in jail for 3 months, I was released, and I decided to make a pact with Lord Irvine to resolve any issues we had. The pact was fittingly named the Irvine Gandhi Pact.
The pact included that the Indians participating in the Salt March would be freed, and Indians would freely be allowed to make and sell salt.
And in return, I had to suspend the non-cooperation movement. But although it was officially suspended, Indians continued to resist British authority in India, and over time, the mass civil disobedience began to erode British law.
The Salt March became an international symbol of nonviolent resistance, inspiring future leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. Through Gandhi's words, Indians were inspired to achieve their country's freedom through nonviolent protests, and because of this, they carried out many more in the future.
These civil disobedient acts, which were inspired by the Salt March and my words, eventually led to India's freedom in 1947.
The Salt March became a symbol of freedom to Indians all across the country by inspiring them to grant and get their freedom, and was a turning point that paved the path to future civil disobedient acts which would achieve India's independence.
Jai Hind.
Well done, boys. You did a great job.